What did you learn about yourself through all of this?
I think that I always knew that physically I was strong, but just to go through some of the excruciating, like the pain that I've been through during my treatment, just the mental strength. I guess I didn't realize that I had that amount of strength, and I don't really, yeah, I knew my faith in God was strong, but gosh, there were just times where looking back, I just don't know how I did it, and I think it was just the faith, and then God giving me that mental capacity to be able to stay in it,
Mhm.
because there were times when it was hard to stay in it, and if I would have lost my life, I probably would have been okay knowing it was going to end because I knew the suffering would end, but I was able to forge through multiple fires. And so, yeah, I think I just didn't, gosh, I just looking back, I didn't think I had that mental capacity.
Yeah. Well, I think too, I think your perspective though too, Kim, it's like when you are looking at what you perceive as you're facing, you don't have any of the details. You don't have any of the way of measuring things. And that's why I love when you talk about the resilience, the grit, the mental capacity,
Yeah,
the mental fortitude, because when we're it's like somebody going to battle, right? It's like these young men that take on and they go, over in another country and they fight. They only get that perspective and that beautiful knowledge and knowing on the other side,
right,
right? It's like we
right,
can prepare people only so much. And that's the reason why I think the physical part of it prepared you to sustain, if that's a good word to use here, I'm not sure, but to sustain what you had to go through. And then leaning on Christ for the mental and the emotional part of it,
right.
because we don't know what we're made of until we are faced with this.
Absolutely. And I had that fortitude and that grit and all of that to train as a professional bodybuilder. But you know what to, like you said, you know what to expect on that journey of getting to the stage and, getting to remission. That journey and that mission, I didn't know what to expect. And then you do know because you've been through the first round of chemo, and then you're thinking, well, what's that second round going to be? And you have to prepare for that.
Right.
It's like preparing for anything else that I did in the past, whether it be training or what have you, going through radiation and that experience. It's just kind of, and not knowing what that was going to be like and the trauma that came from that experience. It's just, I've learned I'm stronger than I thought I was. I thought I was pretty strong, but I'm
Yeah.
realizing I'm a lot stronger mentally than, yeah, I thought I was.
Yeah. And I think too, I think the bond now that you have with your brothers,
Yeah,
I think that that was one of God's blessings
yeah,
that came out of this. I mean, nobody would want anyone to go through something like this. But and that's why I think that talking about things like this, and I appreciate Kim so much your vulnerability. I know this is not easy. And I know that it's grabbing that conversation and being able to talk about it, because there are so many people right now who go through life and who either think they can handle it, but they're not sure. But when they get in the fire, it literally is your faith.